Welcome to the Fall Estate. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. I absolutely appreciate it. Today I'm talking to Chiaku Hanson. Chiaku is a relationship blogger who writes for the Huffington Post. She is also in her third year of pursuing her doctorate in psychology. Her blog is Male Decoder. Thank you so much for coming in. You told my producer that your dad is of God, your mother is an Orthodox Buddhist, your grandmother is a Christian, and your grandfather was part of the Nation of Islam. Wow! What was it like growing up with that type of surrounding?
Growing up in a household was fine. Everybody is kind of allowed to like choose their own spiritual path.
Right.
So we all get along.
And so what do you believe at this point?
God. I've always believed in God.
But you don't, are you a Christian?
Yeah.
You're a Christian, so you went your
yeah,
father.
I don't like to really label myself, but yeah.
You went your father's route.
Yeah.
A male decoder. You are a male decoder. What is that?
Like I just kind of decode the male psyche.
And is this with all men or just the ones you date?
No, all men.
All men.
Yeah, but believe it or not, men contribute. I've talked to every man from every race, and when I say talk, I mean meet, interact. They like to contribute. They tell me things. Yeah, they open up to me.
May I ask, how old are you?
33.
Tell us a bit about your blog and how did you get into male psychology?
Well, I used to be like really confused about men and their behavior, and I just started praying about like for answers or to understand men more, and then like God just started giving me like epiphanies and like I just started feeling like more like a spirit of discernment, like more intuitions about things, and then things just started coming to me and I started getting answers. So I started a blog and I started on Blogspot and it just blew up and it just took off.
Prior to understanding men, what was it about men that you did not understand?
I didn't understand why a man would come on strong and then decide he's not going to call anymore, or text message, claim that he's interested, but just text message, hide behind text, or it was just certain mannerisms and behaviors that was contradictory to me.
And would you ask them about it? Why are you acting this way? What does all this mean?
I'm so not confused anymore that I don't even remember.
When you say come on strong, can you explain what does that mean? How do they come on strong?
If a guy is like pursuing and he pulls back.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? Like the push-pull kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And that would confuse you.
Yeah, that's confusing to a lot of women.
And do you know what it means now, when a man is coming on strong?
Yeah, I mean, men are very, I would say, black and white in a sense. They either want you or they don't. They're not very much so confused about what men are action driven. So when they pursue their dreams, when they pursue something, they go for it. They don't question it. They're not confused about it. So usually when a man is like pulling and pushing and pushing and pulling, he's confused, he's not the one, and you need to move on. You
started out helping women, right?
Yeah.
With your blog. And how did that go?
I still help them, but it's just kind of, I don't know, at first I was gonna make it like for my culture only, and then something inside of me said, no, make it global because everybody's going through a lot of the same things. And then it was just for women, and then it just got bigger than that, whereas men kind of seek my advice too now, so it's just for them too.
Do they like the advice that you give them, or do they like the ability to tell you things?
I think men like to play this whole little, we're simple, all we need is food, sex, and sleep, and that's not true. They're more complex than that. So when I open up that door of like understanding them on a psychological level instead of male bashing or being a feminist or whatever, I think they appreciate that. So I think they seek my advice first, and then they're like, I want to tell you something.
And what have you learned about men that you had not realized prior to blogging?
I understand like what makes them fall in love, or what makes them want to pursue a woman.
What would make a man fall in love?
What would make you fall in love?
Yeah, I like the kind of women that understand the order of life and knows that she is not above me and not try to control me, and you know, that kind of, and women like to control, am I right?
Huh?
Women like to control men. Is that right?
Women like to control men.
Yeah.
Maybe her husband. I don't know.
Do women
men like to control. I think everybody's controlling.
But do women like to control men?
I think we like to control each other.
No, that's not what I'm asking. Do women like to control men? And not all, but most.
Maybe to some extent, but I think men like to control too.
So is that a yes or no about the women?
It's a maybe.
You don't know? You don't know?
I'm not gonna throw women under the bus like that.
Do men like to control?
I think everybody is controlling to some extent, but it's just a spectrum thing.
So let's do this. Let's say that someone is blocking you. They have a question. What type of question would they ask, and what would your response? Give me some examples of the things that they're asking you about, these men.
A lot of them are like, oh, I'm in this relationship and I'm seeing this girl and she didn't return my call, or.
So if I say that she's not returning my call, what would you say to me? What advice would you give me?
Well, I would have to figure out like what exactly happened. Like when was the last time she returned her call? What was the conversation like? What did you guys talk about? Did you guys have an argument? Did you offend her? You know, that kind of thing. Because women usually don't just suddenly just stop returning the call unless like something has happened.
Are you surprised that these men are coming to you for advice?
A little bit, because usually when men hear male decoder, they think like off the top, they think you're like a male basher.
What do men want from women?
What do men want from women? Men want a lot of things. They want their ego stroked. They want to be cared for. They want to be understood. It depends on the culture and it depends on the race.
Black men, what do they want from women?
They need to be king. They need to be head. They need to be, I feel like because of what happened during our Holocaust, our Black Holocaust, whereas the black man was beaten down mentally and made physically strong, and the black woman was made mentally strong, I feel like the roles reversed a little, and so what they need is to be king. They need to be respected. They need to be heard. They need compassion.
That sounds like what women need.
They need it too.
Really?
Yeah.
But are those normal men?
Normal. Yeah, men need love.
They do?
Yeah.
I always thought that men need respect and women need love.
Men need respect and love.
And so what do you tell a man like that when he block you? Hey, look, I need to be the king. I need love. I need to be heard. I need to be called baby. I need this. What do you tell him?
Well, I want to, first of all, if somebody just came to me and just emailed me out of the blue like that, I would want to examine for narcissism, because that's a little odd.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to blatantly say it like that. Now, if they were saying, I want someone who's going to be there when I call, or massage my back sometimes when I come home, or just be more empathetic, that's a little different. I would just be like, are you giving that same thing to your mate? I would examine for narcissism, you know, are you projecting?
Do women want men that need all those things?
That need what?
Love and attention, to be heard.
Do women need men
Do
like
women
that?
want men like that?
I don't think that women sit around and say, I want a man who wants to be heard and I want a man who wants to be respected. Like, I don't think that women, that's weird.
So what type of man do women want?
It depends, because if a woman had a bad relationship with her father, she might desire something that she's not healed from. And if a woman had a healthy relationship with her father, she might desire something different from, it depends on if the woman is unrighteous. She might want an unrighteous man, you know?
What type of man do you look for?
I like nice guys.
Nice guys?
Yeah, like Obama types.
Oh, weak men.
Weak. Really? Weak and nice? Okay. They're not synonymous.
Nice guys finish last.
No, that's a stupid slogan.
No, nice men are weak. Every nice man that I've ever met or heard anybody meeting, women don't respect them.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you nice?
No.
Well, I think it's a difference between being nice and being timid and not having like self-respect versus being a gentleman, but yet still being strong and being empathetic and still being like, you know, a leader. I know nice guys who don't take any mess from anybody.
You think that Obama is a strong man or weak? Oh, you said nice, huh?
He's nice. You can be nice and still be strong at the same time, like a balance.
Oh, yeah?
You have to be a balance.
What are white men looking for in a woman?
They pretty much, I think they like submissiveness to an extent. They like compliments. I think they like their ego stroked as well. It's very simple with them.
How about the Hispanics?
Hispanic men tend to be very affectionate.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I think they're more so looking for like to start like a life with someone, like a lot of romance right away, a lot of passion right away.
And so they want romance and passion because they want to start a family.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So they want to get it on. I'm hearing you right? Yes. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've noticed over the years, and I know how I was prior to the change that happened in me. The only thing I wanted from a woman when I first met her was sex. Mm-hmm. I didn't want anything else. Mm-hmm. You know, and so the going after her, really trying to get her and stuff like that, it wasn't about her. It was about the sex thing. Do you see that a lot in men today?
Yeah.
And so do you help men to overcome that?
If they come to me with that issue, but a lot of times they don't even know they have that issue. I've caught some guys out on it. Like, I think you're a sex addict, you know.
So, but that's what, if not all, that's what most men want. 99 point something.
They want just sex.
Yeah, in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And women think that men are chasing them because, well, and correct me, women think that men are chasing them because they're wonderful, right? Am I wrong?
Okay.
Am I wrong about that?
Okay.
You're the expert here. Am I wrong?
I mean, go ahead. Just keep going.
And so they get all hyped up because they think they're wonderful when in the mind of the man, he only wants sex. And that's why a lot of times when the women give it up, the guy gone away to somebody else. That's why I say women should not do it, just wait until marriage.
I believe that. First of all, I believe in God's law, which is leave every man for their wife and every woman for, her husband. I believe sex in wedlock. I do not believe in sex out of wedlock. So I do promote for women to save themselves for their husband. I have said that to men too. Like, I mean, at least choose a woman that you love. Like, be careful because of the spiritual soul ties that are created when you have sex, and because of the oxytocin hormones that are released when a woman has sex with a man, which creates her to like create a bond. And so it's all these people walking around with these strings attached to each other, like these soul ties.
Yes.
So I tell women, don't get tricked into a man making you believe that he needs to test drive before he buys the car when he is not. He has bad credit. He's not going to buy a car. He has no money. He has no job. He's not looking to purchase. He's renting every car, and that's what he's doing, and you're just another rental. So don't put all these miles on your car, and then by the time your husband shows up, you have about 200,000 miles, 100,000 miles. Your value has gone down.
That's true.
So I do promote that. I totally believe in that.
Men who try to have sex with women prior to marriage don't love women. They hate women. And that man that have sex with you prior to marriage is going to cheat on you after marriage. Do you agree with that?
I mean, you are so radical.
I'm so what?
Radical.
What do you mean?
Like, I just swear you just say things just to get a reaction. Like.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you how it is. Because women to men are like a dope dealer. Because of the hatred of their mothers, they hate their mothers and grandmothers, so they hate all women. They have the same urging for sex. And so they go after the woman the way that they would go after drugs, and so when the woman deals it over to them, they feel satisfied. But the woman think that he want her when it's really not about her, and that's why I tell women to wait. Date for a while with no sex so you can see what you're getting.
Yeah, I tell women that too because you can weed out so many like douchebags when you wait. Yeah. When you wait to have sex, you just have to just treat them like, yeah, right, you know?
That's right.
You just have to have that self-respect. You have to have that love because I believe insecurity is sort of a disease. Yeah. And if you don't like love yourself or respect yourself or like yourself, then you can fall into a lot of traps.
And speaking of that, you wrote a blog for the Huffington Post called "Why Are Women so insecure? Can you answer that for us tonight?
A guy asked me that question, and I was saying, well, it's not as simple as you think. It can be first of all, her first relationship was with her father. So if he abandoned her, he neglected her, or he wasn't good to her, then that can lead to her trying to fulfill her daddy issues.
Yeah.
Because we all have unresolved issues, but if you're not working on it, you it's called transference. You're trying to fill that void. And so that could be a reason why she, is insecure, why she makes some bad decisions. And then also too, women are competitive with each other. That's another reason why they can be
Why
insecure.
are they competitive with each other?
I think that comes from society, like always saying, oh, wear this kind of hair, or oh, wear this kind of outfit, or oh, be this slim, or oh, look like this. And I think that when women who are insecure, when they find some type of esteem in their physical appearance or whatever makes them feel better about themselves at the time, they kind of just sort of like try to one up their sister. And men too. Men compare women. Oh, my last girl did this, or my sister does this, or my mom does this.
So when a woman run into a man like that, how should she handle that?
I can't say what I really want to say on air.
Yes, you can.
Oh, I can curse?
Oh.
Okay,
I thought you were a Christian.
Then, yeah, that doesn't mean I don't want to curse right now, but that's okay. I'll just say, first of all, you have to love yourself, and you have to not care what anyone thinks of you. What I mean by that is like you have to own yourself. And I think that with a lot of women, they don't own who they are. They want to be Cindy, they want to be, Malia, they want to be all these other people instead of just loving who they are, loving how they are, and accepting who they are.
So how do you go from not loving who you are to loving who you are?
First of all, you have to start accepting who you are and getting to the root of any insecurity that you have.
Do you consider yourself a feminist?
No.
You're not a feminist. What is a feminist?
You just asked me.
Right. What is it?
I mean, a radical? It's a radical movement about the empowerment of women, right?
Right, and they hate men?
I think a lot of them do.
Yeah.
I believe it was started by lesbians, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they hate men?
Some of them. Many of them.
What other kind of issues that you hear from men? Give us some examples.
Men, to me, they always usually just complain about women. It's just, oh, she does this. Oh, she does that. She talks too much. Oh, she nags me too much. It's not really let me find out what it is that she really wants. Let me find out why she's acting this way. Let me find out if she's just crazy or whatever. It's just kind of like, oh, every woman is crazy. Every woman is obsessed with them, and that's just not true. They're a little delusional, too.
And how do you respond to that?
Do you nag? Are you annoying? Are you that way? Because a lot of times we project.
But how about if a man is involved with a woman and she is all those things, or most of them, should the man do? But he is not that way at all. What should he do?
And he's not that way.
Right. And
well,
he's
then I would want to examine, why did he choose her? What was your relationship like with your mother? I don't fall into the traps that people set for me. I ask questions, I challenge things.
And so that caused them to look at themselves a little better when you tell them that?
When you start asking questions about people's parents and what kind of relationship they have with their parents and what happened as early as they can remember, yeah.
That's true. Do you tell them the truth about themselves?
I mean, in the work environment, it's a little different, but yeah.
When you say in the work environment is different, in what way?
When you're in a work environment, you can't be like, you know what? What's your relationship with, why do you act like that? Why are you so petty? And why it's a different way you kind of have to go about things.
I see, yeah.
It just
Otherwise
depends
you get fired. Right. So let me ask you some other questions that are happening in the world. Abortion. Do you support abortion?
Do I support? I mean, I don't believe in abortions for myself, but I don't really care what anyone else does with their body.
You don't care if other women are having abortions?
I don't even think that has anything to do with my Huffington Post article. But what I will say is that I don't judge people for the decisions that they make, because I don't know who they serve. I don't know what their relationship is with God. Right. I don't know.
But just your personal opinion.
My personal opinion for myself.
Being a Christian, it would be wrong to have an abortion.
I can't answer that. I can only answer for myself.
How about same-sex marriage? Do you support that?
No.
You don't, and why not?
Because biologically, man and woman are made to be together and procreate. That's just how God made it.
That's right. I also read that you have feminists in your family.
My grandmother was a feminist.
Really?
My grandmother was a feminist, and there were chauvinists in my family.
And so what is a chauvinist?
Isn't that like you, kind of?
Like me. When you say like me, how am I? And how do you see me?
I see you as a guy that is full of contradictions.
In what way?
You say, I think you don't define yourself as, you say you're American, right?
Yes.
So you don't define yourself by race?
No, I'm not an African American. I don't have an afro, I have an Amerifro. I was born in Alabama, in America, and to me that's a blessing. And why would I want to take that blessing and turn it into a curse? People who were born here but calling themselves African Americans are cursed because they don't feel like this is their home. And if you don't feel like this is your home, you're not going to feel a part of it, you're not going to take care of it.
I swear I feel like you just say things to get a reaction.
What do you does that sound wrong?
It sounds stupid. It's not a label. It's what you are. You take an African lion from Africa, you put it in the San Diego Zoo, it's still an African lion. It's just at the San Diego Zoo. So it's not about a label. It's not about, it's not a membership. It's about your descendants. Why do other blacks
get mad with those blacks who say they are not African Americans, but they are Americans?
Well, because American's not a race.
That's why they get mad?
It's not a race. It's a nationality, but it's not a race. And it's kind of ignorant because your DNA is your DNA.
American is not a nationality, it's an idea.
Well, that's even worse then because you're calling yourself an idea.
But being African American is an idea too because it's not reality.
Okay, well, we can go back and forth about the semantics
and
of
what
words.
else?
But
what else can
I will say is that we all know that we come from Africa. We all know about the
I did not come from Africa.
Our DNA is our DNA, and we are descendants of what
What's
we are
the purpose
descendants
of creating a label African American if you don't have to do it? Why do it?
The truth is still the truth. The DNA is the DNA.
What else would you like for me to clear up for you? Because I know you said you looked me up, you heard about me before coming, and you thought about not coming, but some people told you to come. And I appreciate that you did. So what else I need to clean up for you?
I don't believe some of the stuff you say. I think that you say things to get a reaction.
Like what?
Like almost things pertaining to race. It just seems like you don't believe those things.
Why do I need to get a reaction?
Well, I think because you're controversial. You like the reaction.
Why though?
Well, because you have a TV show.
So why would I get a reaction telling men to forgive their parents for failing them?
That's not the reaction that I think
hating.
you're looking for.
Okay.
I'm talking about when it comes to like femininity, the feminist movement, chauvinism, race, those things I think you want a reaction about.
So why would there be a reaction if I say to black people that racism is an illusion? It's a spiritual battle. It's a warfare between good and evil, not physical. Why would I get a reaction from that?
Because you know the stuff you say is ridiculous.
Do you believe our battle is physical or spiritual?
I know how to fight in the spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? However, everybody is not of the spirit.
But
so
that's your job. That's your job.
Some people fight in the
flesh.
flesh.
So that would be your job if you know that it's spiritual, but someone else doesn't know. Isn't it your job to bring them to that understanding? To tell them that it's not about race, it's about the spirit? You agree with me about that, right?
I think that is a loaded question or whatever, but
How is that loaded?
I think
you're a Christian. I'm talking to another Christian. You agree with me that the battle is not about skin color, it's spiritual. Am I right?
No, I think everybody's not of the spirit. So with some people, they are fighting against physical, realms, and then some people understand that it's a spiritual battle and they're fighting in different ways. But racism is racism, discrimination is discrimination. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You can't just change the way you look at things.
So
it is what it is.
But you're going to either follow God's way or Satan's way. And Satan said it's physical.
And some people are following Satan's way and some people are following God's way.
Right. So for people like you who are following God's way, right? Don't you have the responsibility to bring those on Satan's way to try to wake them up out of that fallen state?
I think I'm able to see the truth. and I'm able to see what's going on. But I'm not about staying stuck in a place. I'm about using,
Right.
use your spirit, use your power within, and overcome whatever it is, instead of just sitting in a state of like powerlessness. That's what I'm about.
And so
but
are you about
the truth
helping
is still the
those?
truth. I'm still not going to change the facts around and disbelieve what is going on because I want to just change the meaning of things and change the way people see things. No, I see things for what it is. But my responsibility is myself. I can't change anyone but myself.
But you can point it out to them that it's
I can
not
point certain
physical.
things out, but I'm not going to point a lie out. I'm still going to see what the truth is. Some people do have problems with race. Some people do have
But it's
issues.
an illusion, though.
Well, oh, you mean if someone thinks that someone is, when they're believing a lie, believing that someone may be inferior because they're
No.
a different color, or that's an illusion? Yeah, you're right. That is an illusion.
No,
but they
when
still
black
believe
people
it.
think that their battle is against the white person because of their skin color, isn't that an illusion?
What about if a person that's not non-black
No, that's-
actually says that they do have a problem with someone because of that?
That would be an illusion, too.
So
It's not because of their skin color, it's because they hate that person for some reason. They have made a bad judgment of that person. And then Satan tells them it's about the color. Am I
okay.
right?
So I see how you're flipping it. I see how you're flipping it. Okay, but you don't explain it that way.
But no one asks the way you're asking.
Well, why don't you just explain it that way?
I do sometimes.
It's not sometimes, all the time.
So I'm right then. It's not
No,
a
it's not.
physical battle.
It's
It's
not
a
about
spiritual.
being right. Speak
No,
the
it's
truth.
about being right.
Speak the truth.
The
then.
truth is right.
You have to speak the truth.
I really appreciate you coming on.
Okay.
In closing, tell us about your blog. How can people get to it, and what do we need to know about it?
You can find my blog at www.meldecoder.com, and you can follow me on Twitter too at relationships1, and it's a capital O. And you can also email me at write WRITE.mel MALE decode DECODE at gmail.com.
Did you have fun? Come on. Did you have fun?
I don't know. It was okay.
Was it easier than you thought it would be? Mm-hmm. Thank you. And I'm a good man, right?
You're a narcissist.
What's that? Oh, didn't you? But thank you for coming on. We're out of time, all right? I totally appreciate it. And thank you for coming as well.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me so high, she's running around with a rag top down. She says I wanna do right